What up? What up? We here. The culture is back. And man, we got to get into this Diddy trial. It finally ended after 7 weeks of trial and all this testimony. And
He's coming home.
Is he coming home?
He's coming home.
He's not coming home.
That was on the line eventually.
Yeah, that was on the line. But hey, he avoided life in prison. So shout out to Mike the Expert, Sean. Mike the Expert, go ahead and tell them what the verdict was. We'll get right into it.
All right. So basically, the verdict, the jury found him not guilty on the racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges, but guilty on the 2 prostitution-related counts. So there you go. So the big Rico thing, he's not found guilty of. Yeah.
So specifically, he was not found guilty of the Rico, and there was what transportate? What was the 2 second ones that he's found not guilty of?
Well, he's not found. I mean, he's found.
So
not
it's 5
guilty.
counts. 5 counts, right?
And he was found not guilty of the racketeering, conspiracy, and the sex trafficking charges. So he had multiple charges on those. But but he's guilty of the 2 prostitution-related counts.
Right. So here's the thing. So we'll start with the first count, because the first count, of course, as everybody knows, he was facing life in prison, right? So you know, that was the big one, and I think that's the big one that he wanted to avoid. And the thing was, I mean, and y'all can speak to it. I mean, it's really hard to connect the dots in regards to a Rico. Rico is racketeering. That's usually reserved for like mob bosses, like
multiple crimes.
And it's like a syndicate type thing, like an organizational type crime. I mean, we're talking like Al Capone type situation, you know, Frank Lucas type situation.
Yeah,
that's what that's really for. So they try to connect all this,
like robberies, bodies, all that stuff. That's all instead of trying. Oh, we're gonna do this one murder, then we're gonna do this one robbery. We're gonna this whole organization did a whole bunch of stuff. So we're just gonna all put it together in one and call it the Rico.
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying. Yeah, that was dumb to even put him in there. He wasn't gonna get accused of that. I mean, that wasn't gonna stick. I mean, he don't even have any people underneath him except for, you know, old girl. What was her name again?
Cassie.
Yeah, that's the only girl he really had. Nah, I mean, Cassie was, you know, from what I was hearing, Cassie was setting up a lot of the stuff herself. But she really should be getting the same charges as Diddy.
We'll get to that. So the thing was with the Rico, it was like they were really trying to connect some dots that we just didn't. Even in the beginning of the trial, I was just like, I don't know how they're going to connect all this, and they're going to just try to say certain things, and it's all connected in this whole sex trafficking ring that he is the kingpin of this whole sex trafficking ring thing, when really it just seemed like he was just trying to get his rocks off.
Yeah, he's just nasty. He might be. Listen, history is written. He is literally the nastiest person we've ever known in the history of life. And I know there's somebody back there in ancient Rome and whatever. No. Today, the last. So
you think it's beyond freaky? It's beyond freaky.
Yeah, that's another level.
Yeah, it's just freaky on a whole nother level. But
that's another level.
It ain't nothing he should be in prison for. You know?
And that's the thing. That's the thing. He's not being charged for how freaky he is or how nasty he is or how perverted he is. That's not the charges here.
No.
Okay.
Well,
If you listen to in regards to the trial, the prosecutors came in there. I mean, the defense came in there saying, "Look, he's doing some sick shit. Let's just be honest.
Ain't right. This dude ain't right."
Yeah, they said it is what it is. Right. Look, he got his own fetishes that everybody might have some type of disdain for. All right, that's number one. And number two, he's an abuser. All right, we've all seen the tape.
Yep.
I mean, it's despicable. All right. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about domestic violence. You know, like it's really uncomfortable watching that tape. I think we can all agree on it.
That video was almost something that you see on TV. Like the fact that you seen it in real life was like, whoa, that's crazy. But like you said, the defense they came out day one and say, oh yeah, this dude. He's not a nice guy. He is an abuser, most definitely. They said that statement. Yep.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
All this other stuff.
But that doesn't mean he's guilty of racketeering. That doesn't mean he's guilty of the Rico. All right. So the second thing that he was found not guilty of, this count two, sex trafficking of Cassie. Now, I think, like, look, I think with that situation, I think it was more of, was she coerced? Was she forced to do a lot of these things?
Right.
And the problem is, I mean, and y'all can speak to it. I mean, there was evidence and testimony that came out, and from, you know, supposedly some of the escorts that, you know, that she was contacting them of her own volition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
she was putting it together.
One dude thought it was like, you know, they was like, oh man, I'm really feeling her. I'm really feeling her. And no,
that's the Punisher.
Yeah.
That's that Punisher guy, which is a crazy name for an escort.
Yeah, but
from Harlem too.
Yeah,
that's his intro. I'm the Punisher from Harlem.
But hey, but the Punisher dude was more. He was more of like, not necessarily feeling her. He was just like, hey, this is Cassie. I'm gonna do this because, you know, she bad and all that, right. You know. But it wasn't. Right. But he knew from what he was saying. He knew it wasn't gonna be like no long-term thing, no long-term relationship or nothing like that. He said most of the time, you know, he was having trouble even getting up just because, you know, Diddy was there, you know, watching and stuff. You know, it was kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah. It was the first one that was actually feeling it. The first one that got on the stand, he was like, he thought they were in like some type of thing because she kept calling him.
Yeah.
Right.
They were having conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they were texting each other.
Right. I seen an interview with the Punisher. He's been doing the interview circuit.
Around.
I don't know.
I've been saying it. Yeah.
He's been making around.
He sits there and says that he thought he was the only one. So it like hurt him when he found out he was so easily replaced. In fact, he even told a story about him being with a girlfriend at the time, and she called, and he went hurry up and dropped the girlfriend off just so he could.
So he could go there.
And he was getting paid. He said he was getting paid. Though. He said he was getting paid serious money. Like he was getting paid. He's getting broke off, like for real. So I mean, at the same time, he was feeling them. I don't know.
Yeah, didn't he say something after a while that he was just coming like for free or something? Like at first he was getting paid. I heard something about that. That he just started coming for free.
Yeah, he said it was inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? He said like one time it would be like 1,200, then the next time it'd be 25, then the next time it'd be like 800. And he said he didn't even know why. He said he had no idea why.
Yeah, but he didn't ask any questions either.
No, he didn't.
Nah,
the man was like, dude, she's bad as.
Yeah, he was enjoying it.
He was enjoying it.
Right.
Now it's a little weird that this guy, you know, and initially he said that he was in a mask, but he finally took the mask off.
Freaky, man.
I mean, did Diddy tell him to wear? Diddy was in the mask. That's
Diddy
right.
Diddy was wearing a mask. Yeah,
I remember him saying that. Yeah, he was wearing the mask.
The Diddler.
Did eventually.
The Diddler. I'm sorry. I know this is not really. It's not a laughing matter, but
I mean, the facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. It is funny. It's funny,
and
man.
it is a laughing matter because I mean, it's not like she was getting raped or anything like that. No, she was consensual. Okay. There was no crime in that.
Right.
You know?
So and I think that's the reason why he was found not guilty of that count too, because of the fact that she was not forced coerced. So here's the thing. I have been hearing from, you know, some ladies that are really upset with this because they are saying that she was groomed into wanting to do this, groomed into wanting to be in this lifestyle, and that because he caught her at such a young age, it's like some type of, like, that is coercion. Like, so, like, what do y'all say about that? This whole argument that she was groomed and she didn't know any better, I guess?
No.
Go ahead, man. You got it.
She knew better. I mean, I can see where they're coming from because she was young, but she knew better. You can tell she wanted this. It was, you know, I mean, she was going to be with a rich guy. You know, she left her other dude for Diddy. Why did she leave her other dude for Diddy? It wasn't because Diddy was just this gorgeous guy. No, she left him because it's Diddy.
because it's Diddy and it's Bad
Yeah.
Boy, and she knew that
Exactly.
maybe he could take her career to the next level. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of women are saying it's the power factor. He had that power over her. Just like a lot of these men in the Me Too movement with, you know, saying like the movie producers, with, you know, the anchor onto Today's Show, like they can affect your career. So you're willing to do anything and everything to make it. So what do you say? What do you say for that?
But Dom, if that's the case, then that means any powerful person cannot mess with a woman because he's just too powerful and it's gonna be coercion. No, he's a human being. She's a human being. She saw the luxury. She saw what he could do for her, and she went for it. So that was on her. Now,
does this change that though? Are you guys we all understand? I think we can all agree she's a victim of domestic violence, right? We can all agree to that.
Of course.
100%.
Do you think she's a victim of sex crimes?
No.
The domestic violence, yes, absolutely. We seen the evidence. You had a bunch of witnesses that said that they've seen, you know what I'm saying, the physical abuse that he's done. So nobody's arguing that. Nobody's in it. You know, it's despicable. We don't rock like that. That ain't what we do. But
okay,
it's the other part. I mean, there's no stories where she was like literally by gunpoint. I didn't hear nothing about, he pulled a gun on me. I gotta do this.
She did say one time that he came over and raped her. He did say that. Now that wasn't proven though.
Right.
From what I'm hearing, that wasn't proven, but she did say that he had came and raped her one time. So
I think this was a question. If you didn't like it so much, if you were so disgusted by what you were doing, why didn't you stop? Her response is, because if I leave, another woman's going to take my place.
There you go. Because the running theme this entire trial was each one of these women, because it wasn't just Cassie, they were jealous of the next woman. They were jealous of the next one. So whenever Puffy came up with another one, they were like, who was that? And Cassie was the worst. She was like pretty much
super jealous. She was super jealous.
They said she was almost literally like a female Puffy. She was screaming, cursing at people, throwing stuff at people. So it's like, this was her life, man. This is the life that she lived.
And it's not Diddy's fault that, you know, this girl is jealous and doesn't want to leave because another person to take her place. I mean, that was her choice to stay. You know, the only thing that I can say that I know for a fact that Diddy was wrong for, because I don't know if he raped her or not. The only thing I can say that he was really wrong for.
Allegedly.
What you mean?
Allegedly.
It was allegedly.
All this stuff is allegedly. He hasn't been found guilty of that. So we can just say allegedly.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying. But I didn't listen.
Yeah, no. I got it. But you could just say, I got you.
No. Let me finish real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not saying allegedly, because I'm not saying that he did that. I said that we don't know if he raped her or not.
Okay.
So there's no need for me to say allegedly, because I said we don't know. And then secondly, what I was going to say was, I don't even know what I was going to say now because you cut me off.
I'm sorry.
I can't finish
I'm sorry. My bad. No need. I'm sorry to mess up your train of thought.
Nah, we just know that he beat her. That's all. That's the only wrong thing that we know he did.
That's clear. We've seen the video. Everybody's seen the video. He's an abuser. Okay? Yep. He's an abuser. Yep. But that doesn't make him guilty of a Rico, and that doesn't necessarily make him guilty of sex trafficking.
Nope.
Okay?
No, just domestic violence. That's it.
Right.
All right. So what he actually is guilty of is what's called the Mann Act. And that's essentially prostitution.
I want to talk about this. Go ahead. I got questions about this one. I really do.
Now, the thing is, he was found guilty of prostitution of Cassie and prostitution of Jane. Now, Sean, tell us who Jane is. Since you have the 411 on that.
Hey man, look, come on, man. We could put 1 + 1 = 2. That's every time. And man, that is a rapper that we know, a very famous rapper, the mother of his child. So yes, I'm playing it safe.
So now Diddy is now Bishop Don Juan prostituting his women to
Well,
other men, or
I got questions, man.
what's your question?
Okay, here's the question I have. Because all right, I got boys and I gotta, get them ready for this world. So you telling me, and I'm in New Orleans. I live, right outside of New Orleans. I'm literally 10 minutes away from Mississippi. 10 minutes away from Mississippi, 20 minutes from Biloxi. So you telling me if I'm involved with a woman who, call me up, say, hey, what you doing? Or I ain't doing nothing. Come scoop me up. I, need some help with some bills. Right. I'm going to chill. We go to a movie. Okay, no problem. I go to Mississippi, come back. We go see a movie, go out to eat, break off little change, then, do the what, bring her back home. And you telling me I just broke a federal crime? Are you serious? Everybody should be in jail right now. Everybody.
You getting 10 years now.
I get 10 years.
I mean, let's Come on, look, we're all married. So, this was long.
No, this ain't real. It never happened.
This ain't right.
Right.
But
okay.
We've all been single and in our dating life. So you tell me that everybody maybe should be guilty of prostitution, because if I'm saying, hey, I'm buying you this flight, I'm buying you this bag, and I'm buying you these pumps, you know what time it is.
Yeah.
Is that prostitution?
I don't know. I think what they were saying is more of the intention behind the thing, right? So for instance, if this is your girl and y'all spending time together and stuff like that, and your intention is, of course you're gonna mess with her, but also your intention to show her a good time, all this stuff, that's a little bit different. But if your whole intention is just, I'm just paying you to have sex, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, and that's not really your girl. It's like you're employing somebody, right? I think that's what they're saying, and that's why they're calling it, prostitution. So basically, what Diddy needs to do, instead of taking somebody from one state to another, he needs to have prostitutes ready in all the different states. That's basically what he needs to do.
See, there's only certain ones that are about that life. Okay, maybe not everybody's about that life, but maybe I don't see why. It seemed like it was pretty easy for him to find that. But
what's crazy too? The immunity part, because Jane Doe, Snubbs' baby mama, had a situation.
Who's baby mama?
Two
a rapper.
2 quarters.
2 quarters. 2 quarters.
So look,
well, I got hey Sean, I got 21 questions for you on that 2 quarters.
Good.
This is crazy though, because in her testimony she said that she was not with Puffy, and she went to another party in another place, and she was with another rapper and his always half butt naked wife, right? Mm-hmm. And she said, y'all want to have fun? And they were like, I guess. She calls up one of the strippers and he flew in to do some stuff. So it's like, that's the immunity part. And Puffy was nowhere around that. He had nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, that blew up the day, because the next day the So-So rapper was walking in. They talking craziness about me. I gotta come and see. And they say he walked in.
So this big rapper that she referred to in her testimony,
and his wife, who's always half bucket naked. Come on, man.
Come on, Sean. Go ahead and tell us who you think it is.
That's Kanye, man. That was Kanye. Okay. Because he came to court the next day, and he wanted to see what was going on. She walked in too. She met him there, and they were both in the courthouse.
So do you think it was Kanye and his current wife now? I guess that's divorcing him. That one, or was it?
That was them. That was them. Crazy, man. The name drops.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, a lot of people, and that's what they say, this is kind of like the lifestyle. This is kind of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
All right.
Is the life that they live.
I mean, people, they've been bringing up a lot of different names, or a lot of people that, do this type of stuff. Some out here in Atlanta, I'm not going to name any names, but they've been,
I'm actually surprised more rapper celebrities didn't come out of this whole thing, because I felt like the industry was really shook when he got arrested. So it was like they, because they were saying, all right, who was involved in a lot of these?
They got scared. They got spooked. Yeah, they got spooked. Yeah, they were scared, and they was hiding.
Yeah, they weren't saying anything.
How many?
They weren't.
How many albums came out since this all happened? Who dropped the album during this time? Nobody.
It's hard.
Nothing. It was
Well,
quiet.
it's hard for me to tell because I wasn't checking for none of them anyways.
I know.
I mean, if anybody dropped an album, it was somebody totally not in this era.
That's
That you
correct.
know, Diddy was like,
Yeah.
it's not even in this era.
Right.
Like nobody from the old school was dropping. No, you're correct.
No.
Nobody in the early 2000s era was dropping anything. You're correct.
It was hands off, man. It was hands
You're
off
correct
real
on that.
fast.
So let me be particular. This Mann Act that just basically, Mike, you were correct. Essentially prohibits the interstate, of course, because you're the expert, of course, right? It prohibits the interstate or foreign transportation of an individual for the purpose of prostitution or other illegal sexual activity. All right. It's intended to combat forced prostitution and human trafficking. Okay. So essentially what they got him for is setting up these freak offs in different places, in different cities and so forth. And that's what, you know, they found him guilty of. It's almost like they were like, all right, we got to find him guilty for something.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
We got to find him guilty for something. So let's just.
And he still would have been found, even if he didn't fly the people in, he still would have been found guilty. It just wouldn't have been a federal thing. It just would have been a state case, basically. If you know, if he just had the people at different places. But I mean, yeah, honestly,
interstate or foreign transportation. So that means he went to different countries, of course. I mean, it's Diddy. He's got a private plane. We all know.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And that's why it's federal. That's why it's federal. But other than that, it'll just be state.
Now, here's the thing. Each of these counts basically has a maximum of 10 years. He's been found guilty of 2 counts of the Mann Act. So technically, he could get a maximum of 20 years in jail. That's the maximum he could get. Now, here's the thing. What a judge is going to consider, he basically is going to do the sentencing. The judge is going to basically order what the sentencing will be. What the prosecution is going to argue is that, of course, you know, it's prostitution. It's a lower level crime. Come on.
Yeah.
He's already been in jail for well over a year. Okay. So more than likely, they're going to give him credit for time served. Okay. In fact, when this verdict came out, his defense argued that he should be able to go home under $1 million bond. Okay. And of course, the judge did eventually decide to keep him locked up.
Yeah.
But
which was wrong.
You think that was wrong?
Yeah, I think it was wrong.
He looped it to say, "Oh, I denied bail in the beginning. I'm just no. Like, no, man, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You knocked
off.
Yeah,
they should have gave him.
I mean,
they should have gave him bail.
Well, I mean, be that as it may, he's got his sentencing hearing. Judge can decide to have it run concurrently, which means at the same time, you know, so he could say, "Oh, well, I'll give you 7 years for one count and 7 years for another count." So, you know, I don't know. It's going to depend also on any other bad acts. So they can argue that something like this tape and he's just a bad actor and he's all this and you know, so I don't know. He's not going home right away. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
But I heard that since he's a first time offender, because that's the thing, he has not broke a crime.
Hasn't been in trouble.
He's never been in trouble. And he's in the get in trouble business too. I mean, he deal with rap straight off the street.
This is
so
true.
It's like he surrounds himself with people, you know, especially early in his career. The fact that he hadn't gotten in any trouble this entire time, that's really crazy. So I heard that as a first offender, there should be a lot more lenient on him.
Yeah. He definitely should have got bail. One, because of the first time offender. But usually when they don't give people bail, a lot of times when I see that, it's because, you know, they're either a flight risk or, you know, they're in a danger to the community.
They're a threat. They're a threat.
Yeah, he's neither one of those. He's not a threat. He's not a danger to the community. He just was engaging in prostitution. That's what he got found guilty for. And he's not going to flee at this point, because at this point, if he flee, that'd make it worse on him. So he's not going anywhere. Right. So they should give him bail.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's supposedly he's harassed in, I guess, whatever Jane recently, like that.
Yeah, while he was in
that
jail.
has happened recently. So, and I think she testified to that, Sean.
Yeah,
that she's been harassed recently. So that means, like, I mean,
by
in
him?
the past, by him.
But
So
before the trial started, he was
before the trial
caught him.
started.
Yeah, they caught him
Okay.
trying to pretty much using other inmates to make the phone calls and stuff. So yeah,
There you
they
go.
actually got him on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that means that with that type of evidence, that means that he still hasn't learned his lesson. Like he wasn't arrested and he's like, oh, I'm turning over a new leaf. No, he was same old Diddy.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's not gonna learn his lesson. I mean, he's about to get off. If he just gets time served, then of course he's not gonna look. Diddy, here's the thing. Diddy comes off as an evil guy. Evil.
Pretty
he
bad
does.
guy.
the Diddler.
Yeah. He comes
Pretty
off
bad
as a
guy.
he comes off as an evil guy, and a lot of it is karma. So let's say if he does go down, I don't feel bad for him. I think it's wrong right now because all that stuff he didn't really do anything. But if he does go down, it's gonna probably it's just karma for stuff that he probably really did.
Yeah.
Away from this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel bad for the man, but just looking at what I'm looking at. No, he doesn't deserve 10, 20 years or anything like that. Not for what they have him there for.
Not for what they have him on. But that's the thing. The judge can consider prior bad acts. Okay? That video, the judge could consider that because they played that like everybody saw it. Okay? Including the judge. He can consider that when dealing with sentencing. So although he's not charged with domestic violence, that can be something he can consider with sentencing. So he could. I don't think personally that he's going to give him the maximum 20 years. No way. No way. But could he give him 5 to 7 potentially?
He could, but he should not for a prostitution.
Mm-mm.
Because he's not going to jail because he beat up Cassie. He's going to jail because of prostitution.
Correct.
And
He is.
you shouldn't get 5, 6 years, 10 years for prostitution. Honestly, I mean, that's consensual all in itself too. So and I don't know, man. Cassie, she should be going to jail too.
That's the thing, and that's a thing. I don't know if y'all saw DJ Vlad. He put out a
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I mean,
if Diddy is guilty for the Mann Act for prostitution across state lines or foreign, whatever, that Cassie should be going to jail right along with him because of the fact that she was arranging these freak offs.
Yeah.
But they gave her immunity. They gave her immunity.
Mm-hmm.
They gave her immunity. They say, all right, you good. Whatever you about to say it, because we really want him. We ain't care about you. We really want him. And the evidence it was just too loud, man. She was a part of it.
Do you think this changes dynamics in regards to, do some women or men in that dynamic with that relationship, does it change a little bit when it's like, hey, I got a lot of money, so you got to do what you got to do to be on my arm, or you got to do what you got to do to have this job. And people will still look at those people that get in these situations as less than a victim. Because after this situation, it's not just this situation. A lot of the Me Too's, the situation with Bill Cosby, or one of the worst that I found that are judging on other women are women. You know what I'm saying? They're all like, why was she in the hotel room at 2 a.m? What do you think was going to happen? Or, hey, well, you love this lifestyle that Diddy is going to provide you with, and it is what it is. It comes with it. You knew what time it was.
She was with an old man. No, this was not a friendship. This was not like a partnership. No, they were in a relationship. And it was toxic as hell. And obviously we seen the tape. I mean, in a relationship like that, usually it goes both ways. And
so no, I'm sorry, go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways because again, the evidence says it. Like, Cassie was a monster. She was a little monster, man. Like, when he wasn't there, she was puffy, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it was. They were in a relationship, man. They were together.
See, women say she was groomed to be puffy. She was groomed. She was young, and he got her with the power, with the money, with the bad boy, with the contracts, with the music. That's why she acted like that.
But she embraced it.
Yeah.
She embraced it. She did.
Yeah. Here's my thing. The Me Too people, they'll probably hate me. Or whatever. They'll probably hate me because I look at it. I mean, she was old enough to make a decision, right? And like you were saying, Sean, about the people, or was it Sean or Don? One of y'all were saying about, people saying, why are you in the room at 2 o'clock in the
was
morning?
me.
Why are you in the hotel room? No, why are you in the
Women
room
say
2 o'clock?
other women say that.
Yeah, but I'm a man and I'm saying that too. If you going into the hotel room with the dude at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know what's up. Well, you shouldn't have
Here's
went
the
in
thing,
there.
Mike.
Not playing
But
Connect
no
4.
still means no, though.
We ain't playing
I
Monopoly.
got that.
Dog,
I got
like,
that.
let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Wait, hold up before you go on, because I don't want nobody to think. Look, I know no means no, so you don't have to tell me that. I know that, but you also have some type of responsibility going in there at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever with some dude, because you already know what's about. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. If you say no, he needs to stop. Even if y'all doing something, and you're in the middle of it, if you say no, he needs to stop right then. I understand that, but you got to take responsibility and stop putting yourself in those situations also.
I understand that. I get the position on that. I understand that, and I agree. But there's a lot of people that think victim from day one, period. You go up to that room, you are looking to be an actress in the next movie, period. That's all. That's the only reason. That's it.
This is like you said, like your question was, is this going to change the mindset of people getting in relationships with powerful people? No, because everybody's trying to make the come up.
No,
everybody's trying to get the come up.
I agree.
Everybody trying to get the next dollar that they ain't got.
I agree.
If I ain't got this dollar and you got it, what I got to do to get this dollar? That's what it's about. And it's been that way forever. This is not going to change anything, man. It's not. It's sad though.
All right. Well, we've kind of broken down the Diddy fiasco. Look, and I will say this. I think we can all agree. Hey, Diddy's still done in public opinion.
Oh, no, he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing.
No,
he might
done.
Liquefy everything, shut it down, sell it, get rid of it, quadruple your billion. And
I disagree.
You disagree? Why? Why, Mike?
I disagree. I think Diddy's gonna. Now, don't get me wrong. His music was already over with anyway.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That.
Like that was already over with.
But what about his businesses? What about his investments?
No, I got you. There's a lot of stuff that's going to get messed up. It already has. That happens with everybody when stuff comes out and stuff happens. I mean, Rick Ross, when he made that song and he, lost stuff, you're going to lose stuff. But I think Diddy's going to be able to make a comeback. And the reason for that is because I think there's going to be a narrative around it, around a lot of this stuff. Because look, first of all, like, look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown beat up Rihanna, right?
We didn't see no video,
but we saw her face.
Yeah, we saw
her face, and everybody was mad at Chris Brown. Everybody was I'm not listening to Chris Brown. I'm not doing this. Now you look at Chris Brown right now. Chris Brown is the greatest person in the world.
He's doing backflips on stage, right?
Exactly. So you look at this trial,
greatest person in the world. I would say that Chris Brown still doesn't have the pop crossover appeal. But okay,
please, I'm online all the time. These women are going crazy over Chris Brown. They're paying $2,000 just to take a picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris Brown is back.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Diddy's going to be able to make his comeback, too, because Diddy is not getting, like, all that stuff that they're saying that they were talking about. He didn't do wrong. All he did, he beat up Cassie. People are going to get over that because people look at Cassie as wrong, too.
Yeah.
So, watch. He's going to come back. He's going to be Diddy again. He's probably not going to be as big as he once was, but he's not going to have to liquidate everything. He's going to be all right. Watch. People forget things quickly.
Especially when you're making money. Especially when you're making money. And especially black people with the feel goods. As long as the music make me feel good, as long as we got a short memory, man. We do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the thing. I agree with you that he'll still keep his money. I mean, he clearly can still keep his millions. They're not gonna, like if he got that Rico, they were gonna probably come with, what I'm saying, and it's billions.
Billionaire.
It's not millions.
It's
billions. Right.
Yeah.
I get that. But I don't think he's going to have the business deals because nobody's going to want to touch him. Okay. He's like, there's going to be no liquor companies that are going to want to sign on with him. Like, I don't think he's going to have anything in fashion. Now, can he be, in a background role like with a music company or still do Bad Boy? And I don't even know if Bad Boy do you think he can have new artists on Bad Boy anymore? Like, I don't know if that
was over before.
Yeah.
Okay, well, It truly was. But I think Bad Boy still exists though, Mike. It's not like Bad Boy. It's not
but
defunct.
it was over. It doesn't matter. Death Row still exists too.
That's
People
true.
ain't getting signed to Death Row.
You gotta understand though, Bad Boy still exists because Bad Boy records are still being played. They still get streams. They still, you know what I'm saying? Like
so does Death Row Records. So does Death Row Records.
Yeah,
but people aren't getting signed to these labels. Go ahead, Sean.
Y'all gotta understand, man. He is a billionaire. He's not a millionaire. He's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire. Yeah.
His money is he got serious money. So in order to make that money, he's got businesses all over. I'm pretty sure he's got businesses that we never even heard of. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He didn't just make $1 billion off of.
That's true.
You know, liquor and somebody in the studio.
That's true. He might be private investor on a lot of stuff that we don't know of. And they're going to want to keep him private because that's how he still makes his money. But he was the initial investor that put up the mony for whatever. Yeah. So you're right about that. Yeah.
It's probably millionaires that's making money because of his billion.
But I'm saying in public, I'm telling you, he's not going to be welcome on a red carpet.
Yeah, he nasty. He nasty, man.
It's not happening. Like, that's done. He's not gonna be welcome at no BT Awards. Okay, no, that's done. Hey,
so Dom, let's say you were putting together a business, right? Let's say you're putting together a business, and this business could be, you know, could eventually be worth a lot of money, but you need an investor.
I like this.
And let's say Diddy comes and he's like, here's such and such $1 million to invest, or $100,000 of dollars, whatever, to invest in your company. Are you going to take the money, or are you going to say,
first of all, I'm
Diddy,
putting in my contract, I will not do any freak offs. I will not attend anything beyond 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning.
So your answer is
So that is a yes. That is a yes because
so you're going to take the money.
Yes.
The money is the money.
Yeah.
But so I'm letting you know I'm not about that life.
It don't even matter.
And if you come with some more money and say, I will give you more millions, all you got to do is be on camera doing it. No.
But the fact that you said yes to the money, think about everybody else. So he can put his money into millions of businesses and stuff and still make money. He doesn't have to be the front face of it. They're going to take his money. If I start a business and he's going to invest in it, I'm invested. I mean, don't touch me.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's say he invests in our podcast, would you put his name front and center?
Heck no.
Okay.
No, of course not.
Thank you. You don't want everybody to know about it.
Yeah. No, but I'm gonna take the money, and if our podcast blows up, guess what's gonna happen? He's gonna get paid.
Well, guess what that is? Guess what everybody will say? That's dirty money.
What's that? That's all right.
That's Diddy money.
Hey, at this point in my life, I'll take drug money. At this point in my life,
hey,
take that.
hey, all money's good money, man.
Hey, man. When you on the come up, that's what you got.
Diddy dirty money. That's what that is. Diddy dirty money. So how many people are going to take Diddy dirty money? Look, we'll see.
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody would.
That don't even sound right.
That's it. Pause. Who's going to take Diddy dirty money? All right. We'll catch y'all on the next one. We have.
Hey, shout out to Brian Steele. Hey, man, this man beat
Brian Steele.
Rico charges in court,
he did.
And within 365
Young Thug
days. Whoa.
And now Diddy. That's correct.
And
Sean, I will say shout out to Atlanta, the Atlanta area. Brian Steele's actually an attorney here, and
man.
Boy, that man's making a name for himself. He's on a roll, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Is he the new Johnny Cochran?
He's the new Johnny Cochran, man.
He
really is.
It might be.
I mean, he pulled 2 miracles out the hat, man. That was
big.
Yep.
Might be.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we'll catch you on the next one. Hey, we out.
Don't be nasty.
Peace.
Don't be nasty. Don't be puppy. Oh no. I don't want to hear about it.